It's Tommy Tan, the real life man, and on this YouTube channel, I'm going to talk about some real life stuff, real life topic. And I call myself the real life man because I like to talk about real life stuff, you know, real life topic. This video will either motivate you, inspire you, or encourage you, okay? So, in this video, it's going to be a response to this intelligent, brilliant, genius man. His name is Winston Wu. You could research him up. He's the founder and creator of Happier Abroad. He has like either hundreds or thousands of essays, of articles about different topics about how men can change their life from moving one location to another location, or changing single, lonely, frustrated men life in America by simply buying a plane ticket to go move abroad overseas, to go live abroad overseas, to have a life-changing, happier, life-changing moment. All right. So yes, this video is going to be about why changing your thoughts, changing your faith is not enough to change your life. It's mainly by changing your location or where you live to change your life, you see. So yeah, I want to talk about that. You know, the truth is, if you change the way you think about your own life or whatever is going around you, you know, and if you change the way you believe in God, or you believe in Jesus, or you believe in yourself, you know, that's good and that's excellent by these self-help coach, you know, these motivational, you know, speakers, these whatever you want to call these therapists that try to, you know, help people change their mental way of thinking of how they should live their life to be happier, the way of faith into praying to God, or change the way they believe about themselves into a more positive, you know, a vibe of trying to change their life, you know. But the truth is, let me put this together. All right, so if you change your thoughts, right? Like for an example, if you think that you can't, you know, live a happy life, whatever you're living, in whatever location you're living, like you can't, you know, make easy, real, authentic friends, you can't get no woman to date, you know, if you think you're too ugly, you're too short, you're too this and that, and you think too much about negative stuff, right? But now, once you change your thoughts into a more positive way of thinking, into a more positive way of thought, your thought changes your attitude. Your thoughts change the way you act towards yourself. You see, that's good, right? That's good to change your way of thinking about yourself, you know. But the truth is, the problem is that if you change your thoughts of way of thinking, of way of acting, into a more negative to a positive way of thought of thinking and acting, that's good. But the problem with that is that you're not going to change the people around you. You see, you're not going to change the environment around you if you just change the way you think, if you just change your thoughts. You know, that's not good enough. Because by changing the way you think, you know, you're just changing your attitude. There's nothing else you can do. For example, if I live in the countryside and for some reason I'm not happy living in the countryside, and all I do is just change my thoughts, right? From reading these self-help books, from visiting a therapist, and you know, listening to these motivational speakers, it's not going to change much, because all I'm doing is just changing my thoughts from a negative thought to a positive thought. Your negative thought could be like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm not happy with my life. Oh, I ain't got no girlfriend, I got no woman to date. You know, I'm not happy with my life because I think that I can't make, you know, real authentic friends once I go out and try to meet people. You know, even though you think negative, you know, I mean, even if you think negative, of course you can change the way you think, you know, into a more positive way of thinking. You know, it's real simple. You know, you just got to stop all that bullshit of negative thinking about yourself. You got to stop thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't, you know, work out. You know, I can't do this and that. You know, that's negative. All you have to do is just stop thinking, I can't do that. I can't do this. It's simple. Just stop thinking about things that don't encourage you, that don't motivate you, that don't, you know, change your attitude. You know, you just have to stop thinking about those negative stuff about, I can't do that, I can't do this. You know, that's all you got to stop. And then you once you change your thoughts into a more positive way of thinking, all you can do is just change your attitude. You know, that's it. Now let's talk about changing your faith. You know, having faith really means believing in something or believing in someone. It can even mean believing in yourself. You know, having faith is important as well. You know, but it's not gonna really change your, you know, your life, you know, because if you believe in God, which is good, and you believe in yourself, which is good, but the truth is, believing is still not 100% enough, you know, because if all you do is believe that if you could just go out and do a backflip, or you could jump one building to another building, or if you can just believe that you can fucking do like a 1,000-pound bench press, that's not gonna happen, man. You know, if you believe that you just go out and get date easily in a wrong social environment, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. You know, believing really is all up in your head, but that's still not enough. You see, because believing is kind of like you're putting confidence in yourself into changing your attitude, into changing your action. That's it. So pretty much changing your thoughts, your way of thinking, and changing your believing of whatever faith you believe in, it's not going to really change the people around you. It's not going to change the environment around you. It's not going to change the culture. around you. You're just changing your attitude. You see? That's what I want to put out. Changing your thoughts into a positive way of thinking, changing your way of belief, of faith, whatever you believe in, God, Buddha, Jesus, Jehovah, the Messiah, you know, or whatever religion you believe in. It's not going to change everything 100%. It's not going to change your life at all. You're just changing yourself, your attitude, and your thoughts. That's it. But that's still not enough, which I can see clearly. What can change your life? 100%, or even more than 100% to 1000%. More than just changing the way you think and changing the way you believe in whatever faith you believe in, God, Jesus, Buddha, Jehovah, the Messiah, you know, is by changing your location. And you know how I know this? Because how come I was happier staying in New York City for 1 week, 1 whole week, by changing my location? I was happier in New York, you know, more than staying in Texas, you see? How come I'm happier in the West Coast than the southern states? You see? So, if you change your location, you can change your life. And that's true. You see, the first word of location has the letter L in it. Location with an L, and then your life as the first letter L. There's double L. That's 2 double L's. Location and life. So that makes sense. If you change your location, you can change your life. And if you think about it, it does make sense, because if you change your location, you can change the environment around you. You can change how people act around you. You can change the socializing culture around you. You can change the dating culture around you. You know, for example, if I'm not happy living here in the US, right? And if I went to go change my location to go live in Europe, I would 100% damn sure I would be happier living in Europe. You know, because I'm not from Europe. And I would look like a foreigner. I would look like an immigrant. I would look and be different than the people who grew up in Europe or are from Europe, you know? And then if I change my location from moving from one country to another country, I will become happier because I'm in a new environment. I'm in a new, different culture. I'm around new people that may be more friendlier, more open, more sociable, more curious. You see? So changing your location is as important of changing your thought, changing the way you believe in God. Because listen, you can believe and put your faith into God all you want. But guess what? God is not going to change your life 1000% or 100%. Believing God is to give yourself a positive feeling, a positive thought, the way you think. So that's what faith is for. That's what believing is for. Is to change your thought into more positive, to change your attitude and your feeling inside you more positive. You see? So yeah, changing your location is important, you see? For example, if you live in an old, ugly, raggedy house, right? You wouldn't be happy living in that old, ugly, raggedy house, right? You would be more happy to move to a different location in another town or city and live in a cleaner, brand new house or apartment, right? See, it's the same thing like changing your environment of location to a different location of environment. Because once you do that, you will see what I mean. You will see what I mean. Your attitude will change, your views will change, and your way of thinking will change if you change your location. Yeah. It's like a dog. It's the same thing with a dog. You know how when you go to these, dog, adoptive pet place, you see all these dogs locked up in a cage or or locked up in these separated rooms. These dogs, they're not happy in the environment of location of where they're living. But these dogs who need to be adopted, they will become 100% happier once they change their location into living in a new home, being adopted by a good, loving family. It's the same thing like that. You get what I'm saying? So this video is made for Winston Wu. He's 100%, not even 100%, but 1000% right about if you change your location, you can change your life forever. For example, if a guy went to prison, right, and he lives in prison for 10 years, 20 years, he would be damn sure happier if he got out of prison and live in a different town or city of a different location of environment. You see? That's all it takes. See, these people who are depressed, sad, and not happy with their life, they can change the way they think all they damn want, but it's not going to change their whole entire life. The way you change your whole entire life is to change your location. It's to change your environment. It's to change the people around you. It's to change the culture around you that you're surrounded by. If you're not happy living in a small, quiet, boring town with no one to hang out to make you happy, then that is the sign to change your location, to change your life. And one last thing I want to put, what's the most important thing that you need to do to change your location. You need, number one, money. And number two, you need to have a job in that location. And number three, you need to have your life together. You need to have your money together. You need to have your mind together. You gotta have your career job together. Those are three things you need to have together. Your money together, your mind together, and whatever job, career you have together to live in a different location, to change your life. You see? And I don't know why these self-help motivational speakers on YouTube, like David Goggins, Jordan B. Peterson, Tony Robbins, and Jack Ma, and all these successful rich billionaire people and other successful people, they never talk about changing your life by changing your location. You see, how come I was happier when I changed my location into visiting the Caribbean countries more than visiting the southern states in the U.S.? You see, I became 100% happier visiting Puerto Rico, Mexico, and those other little islands in the Caribbean countries. See, I was happier there than being around in a location like the southern states. You see, the southern state is boring. It's nothing to do. So why the hell I want to live in the southern states or visit any more southern states? I don't. I clearly don't, you know. So this is the video for you. And one last thing is that Joel Osteen, I remember he had a book that he wrote called Think Better, Live Better. That means that if you change the way you think, like I said earlier, you can live a better life. But guess what? That's not 100% helpful enough. You see, you can change the way all you think. If you start to think that you can just go out and meet and date hundreds of women to get wet, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Because it depends on what location of environment and culture you're in. You see, if I cannot date any of these women in Houston, Texas, then motherfucker, I gotta change my environment of location to able to connect better women, to able to date better women who will be open to wanting to date me or become friends with me. You see, if I change my location from Texas to New York, California, Miami, or Europe, I may have a better chance there than some boring location where I can't change the people, I can't change the culture, I can't change the environment. You see, this may be a long video, but it's important. You see, it's very important. So that's it, guys. Have a good one.